What's up, party people in the house? It's Dynasty War Games, and we're finally back, and we're hosting a party tonight. What's up, guys? How you doing, Mike? Major Mike Casper. How you doing tonight?
Dude, doing great. You can tell it's been a hot minute since we all talked together. It only took us an hour to get everybody's electronics working, but good to be talking football with y'all again.
Get the thing set up, and then another hour to get electronics working. Main man Chad Mendoza, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I wish I had a better dinner. I ate some turkey hot dogs,
Ew.
and they were absolutely terrible. And I bit my tongue eating them, so it's probably a sign to never have that again. So yeah, I guess I'll have a better breakfast. I don't know, but yeah, night's going all right. Drinking a beer, so
that's a really good outlook. I work in the restaurant business, as you guys know, so I tell people all the time, it's just dinner, it's just lunch. You get a chance at it again tomorrow. Right on. I'm Jesse Steven. I'm your host. These are my two co-hosts. How were your holidays, gentlemen?
They were good for me. Moved into a new house, so that's why I've been, on a little hiatus here. Is a nightmare getting out of the rental and just up all night cleaning and packing. And man, when you got 4 kids, it's amazing how much crap you have. I can't wait till they're 18 and I can just throw it all away.
I was gonna say, Mike, don't lie. You have 4 kids. Your holiday was terrible.
Yeah. Though the saving grace of moving around Christmas time was I did not have to put up Christmas lights on our house.
Yeah,
that was pretty money. So
that's nice. I'm currently contemplating leaving my lights on until next year. So we'll see how that goes.
You got to get there's like a piece of like a board on a hinge that you flip up and down.
Oh yeah.
You just hang your lights on that, flip it up when you're not, when it's not Christmas season.
Yeah, just like a little rail to cover
shit
it.
That I put in the yard and a big projection thing. That's a whole production.
One of the big features for our house that we have here that I thought was mind blowing, but I guess it's not that big of a thing. I got plugs like underneath the gutters, specifically like for lights on the house, on the edges of the house, so I don't have to like run an extension cord up the side or anything like that.
Nice.
Yeah. I was pretty stoked about that.
Yeah,
man.
You're a middle-aged man dad when that's what it's about life.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. My holidays were cool. Spent some time in the Poconos. That was fun.
Nice.
Did a lot of drinking, and then did a lot of not drinking. I'm currently in the midst of a damp January. So
exciting stuff, man.
Yeah, this is I don't know, the second or third beer I've had since a couple days before New Year's.
Oh wow.
Good for you, man.
What are you drinking tonight, Chad?
I am, speaking of the holidays, maintaining a little holiday cheer. Drinking some Shiner Cheer.
Shinerbach Holiday Cheer.
Yeah.
Shit, that was my jam all this Christmas.
It's great stuff, man. I buy as much as I can during Christmas.
Case and a half myself.
Yeah.
I kept buying it as gifts for other people and drinking it.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
Yeah, until I told my brother-in-law. I was like, hey, man, here's the cookies and candy and shit that we made for you, and sorry I drank your beer.
Oh, I thought you meant like going over to their house, bringing it to them, and then drinking it.
Oh, I did that. Well, I did that to my dad.
Yeah, that's the way to go, man. That's why I always gift nice bottles of scotch because I know I'm going to stay and drink some.
Right on. Yeah. Shinerbach Holiday Cheer. I'm a big fan. I am drinking Miller Lite because that's what I have. What about you, Major Mike?
So I took a little sprinkle of a pre-workout before I got on with y'all because there's no way I would make it through this thing if I didn't. But now I just got water.
What flavor was it? Watermelon bubble gum or
it was
cherry sapphire?
Sweet and tart. Sweet and tart.
That's like a description, not a like.
That's what it's called. It's called lit AF sweet and tart. Pretty good.
Right on. A lot going on in football. So I don't
Yes.
We're pretty much going to talk about the off season tonight, but what I want to know, just personally, the only thing I really want to discuss right now is like the Broncos head coach. Mike, do you have any thoughts on who you really want?
Yeah. So I started listening last couple weeks to the Colin Cowherd podcast, because he's actually pretty good friends now with Sean Payton because Sean Payton's been working for Fox.
Okay.
And so they meet together often, I guess. He had him on his show 2 days ago. And I guess he went out to dinner with him. And he talked about what was important to Sean. And it was owner and quarterback were like his top priorities.
Right on. Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah. And she's friggin' co-chair, whatever. We have the richest owner in the NFL right now. In Penn.
Yeah. And she's part of the hiring committee.
Yeah. But there is definite mutual interest there. Broncos have a first-round pick because of the Bradley Chubb trade earlier in the season. So sadly, it's the 49ers pick, so there's a chance it could be even later after this weekend. But no, his conversations with Sean were that he was very intrigued. Like he wants to go to a bigger market from what he's telling him, so he wouldn't go to a place like Carolina. It sounds like, and with the Chargers not firing Staley, I don't know if there's many other great options that kind of fit what he's looking for. So he also did mention the Broncos are all in on him, so he's like their number one choice, and it's not even close.
I did read that
from what I've heard.
I read that the Saints want 2 firsts.
Yeah, I've heard that
cripples your ability to improve the team around them a little.
Especially because we don't have our pick next year from the Russ trade either. So
I'm sure they want 3 first, or maybe even 4 first.
Yeah,
probably 5 first.
Yeah, right.
But I think they'll be lucky if they get a first. So
right on.
And they don't have a first this draft, right? Because they traded to get Olave. So
yeah, the Eagles.
I'm sure they get at least one. Like it's pretty worth it.
Have their number 10 overall, which is just disgusting. But anyway.
Yeah. So until he officially withdraws, that's what I'm riding that train.
Yeah. So it looks like a close second is Dan Quinn. How would you feel about that if you don't get Peyton?
Not great.
I think you guys should go for Mike Kafka.
Yeah, I want an offensive-minded coach, but I don't necessarily want them running the offense. We need a head coach to be able to run head coaching things and then have a good offensive coordinator. But I don't know. That's just me. Yeah. It's interesting though to see our OC for the last 2 games getting interviews for other OC positions.
I like what I like, and I'm going to bring this over to the Giants, but I like what the Giants did with bringing in a guy like Brian Daboll, who obviously is a pretty good offensive mind, and then you bring in an offensive coordinator like Mike Kafka, and they can kind of work together. Mike Kafka is obviously calling plays and stuff, but they work together in designing the offense. They came from 2 different places, and they can coordinate there. I think if Denver came in and did something very similar, where they get 2 guys who are very, very, very good when it comes to offensive scheming. Then
that's what I would want, because Daboll's not calling the plays, but I'm sure he's very involved in offensive scheme and all those kinds of things.
Yeah,
and it's okay, Jesse. We know Daboll's going to win Coach of the Year over Sirianni, so
of course,
you can just stop that right now.
There's one award that I care about, Mike.
Oh, the NFC Championship ring. You get a lot of those.
No, we don't, actually. And that's not the one I care about. We lose a lot of those. 4 in a row.
Not 4 in a row.
Well, it was 4 in 5 years. It was 3 in a row.
Oh, okay.
Sierra Nevada's great. Speaking of Nick's message here, it says, cheers, gentlemen. Drinking a Dankful IPA Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada was my introduction to IPAs.
Yeah, same. Actually, that's the first IPA I ever had was Sierra Nevada.
Yeah. So I have a soft spot for Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, right on. All right, so there's one other major thing going on in the NFL. 2 NFC East teams happen to be playing each other on Saturday night. That's all I'm going to say. I really don't care to discuss it with each other, to be honest.
All right. Well, since we're on it,
I just got a text from my dad. I don't know if this is wishful thinking or not on his part, but he just texted me saying that Wink Martindale is staying with the Giants and turned down head coaching offers. So
I think he got interviews. I don't think he's gotten any offers. I don't really think there were offers made. Holy shit! I just dropped it. My whole world just fell apart. All right, and we're back together. Nice. All right. So yeah, I don't think Wink Martindale got any offers. I mean, he probably. I know he got at least one interview. But yeah, no, that's good for you, buddy. Real happy for you.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can keep the guys together. All right, let's move on.
All right, so we've got new fun games for 23. I have a proposal as far as scoring goes. As far as the overall tally for the year, what do you think about this? All right, so the person who wins the game gets a point. The person who loses the game obviously gets jack shit. The host also, if there is a winner at the end of the night, gets a point.
No, absolutely not. Host gets no points.
You always host, Jesse.
I don't know. I actually have a list of some games that you guys have hosted in the past.
I have not hosted any games.
Yes,
not
you
one.
did. You did
I didn't.
You did the draft history quiz, and we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've hosted one game. I still have the most points, even if we adopted that system. It doesn't really matter. But
it's by year. It's a new year.
Yeah, I think we can agree that Chad was the winner of 22. So congratulations, you shit. You're the winner.
Nobody cares. Move on.
Yeah, Dynasty War Games 22. Mike, I have you down for Jeopardy and anything else that you want to bring to the table.
Absolutely.
Right on. Should we get into tonight's games?
yeah, let's do it, man. I'm excited.
All right, cool. Like I said, I'm hosting a party tonight. Right? We got our drinks, got some good friends, got some good conversation going on. So, Mike Casper, who are you bringing to this party?
I want to bring Cooper Cup to this party.
No, I'm sorry, Mike. You're not Cooper Cup.
Okay. All right.
So you guys can't come.
I see.
Chad, who are you bringing to the party?
I'm gonna bring Kirk Cousins. Wears the chains.
Yeah.
Cool guy. When at
cool,
certain
he's
moments.
a cool guy and all, but no, I'm sorry, he's not invited to this party.
Okay.
Mike, who would you like to bring?
I'm gonna bring Kyle Pitts. Yeah, not with Desmond Ridder, but just Kyle Pitts.
Just Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
No, Mike, I'm sorry.
It's an exclusive party
to my party. All right, Chad.
Okay.
Can you do a little better? Can you bring someone to my party, please?
Yeah, I'm bringing the man. Don't know how or why this guy's talking to me, but we've been striking up some pretty good conversations, and he's got nothing to do this upcoming weekend, so I'm bringing Justin Jefferson.
Nope, no, thank you. Justin Jefferson cannot come to my party.
Okay, can we get a hint? Because I don't know what you're looking for right now.
You haven't even. You haven't. The hint is you haven't even hit the position yet.
I know. I was about to say it. That's why I was surprised you said Jefferson. So, considering the two of you are big fans of this guy, I know you would want to have him at your party. So that's Saquon Barkley. So let's go ahead and bring Saquon to your party.
Yes, Mike. You may bring Saquon Barkley to my party.
Oh,
would you like to guess what the theme of my party is?
Is the theme of your party 2022 top 10 running backs?
No, sir, it is not. Chad, who would you like to bring to my party?
So Saquon's really close to this guy. He actually went to Penn State right after Saquon. I'm gonna bring Miles Sanders.
Yes, Chad, I will let you bring Miles Sanders to my party. Would you like to guess the theme of my party?
I think the theme is playoff running backs.
Incorrect. Thought you were gonna get it. Mike Casper, who would you like to bring to this party? So far, it's a pretty fun party with Miles Sanders and Saquon Barkley.
I'd like to bring Tony Pollard to this party.
Yes.
I know it now.
Tony Pollard is
We're talking NFC East running backs.
Incorrect.
What?
That is incorrect. Chad Mendoza. So far, we have Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, and Saquon Barkley coming to the party. Just a coincidence that they're NFC East running backs.
Just a coincidence that all three are in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, that's correct as well. Who else would you like to bring to this party?
God, I don't know.
There are a few more that qualify. I'm
gonna bring Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is welcome at my party. This is going to be a fun party. So, Chad, would you like to guess the theme of my party?
God, I don't know. I honestly don't know what the theme is.
You don't know what all these running backs have in common with each other.
No, Tony Pollard's throwing me off.
Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Saquon Barkley.
I don't know.
Mike Casper, who would you like to bring to my party?
I think I'd have to bring the RB1 and Austin Eckler.
No, sir. He is not welcome at my party. And that's the win tunnel of them.
Yeah, Chad, you gotta turn your mic off, Chad.
There we go. All right,
but
Chad,
it is
who
your
would you
turn,
like to
Chad.
bring to my party?
But if my mic's off, I'm.
Actually,
I'm gonna-
it's fine now. So, I don't know what
so weird. I'm gonna bring Dalvin Cook. Is he welcome?
No, sir. No, sir. Dalvin Cook cannot come to my party.
I don't know. This is very odd.
Christian McCaffrey.
No, Mike. Christian McCaffrey may not come to my party.
Okay, can we give up?
Remember the overall theme of tonight is to discuss the offseason.
Oh. Okay.
I know
Okay, I got it.
Wait.
We both know it.
All right. Whose turn is it?
It's my turn.
All right. Guess. Who are you bringing to my party, Chad?
No, I mean I've already brought some guys. I'm gonna guess the theme though.
You don't get to guess the theme until you guess another player.
Oh, damn.
You got to bring a player with you.
Oh. Okay. Oh shit! I don't know.
Yeah. So this is part of our new 2023 theme, and I'm keeping this shit on lockdown. We're not letting this become a free for all. Rules are rules. You must bring a player to guess the theme.
Okay. I'm gonna bring. Oh, I don't know about this one. I'm gonna bring David Montgomery.
Yes, Chad. You may bring David Montgomery to my party.
Impending free agent running backs is the theme.
That is correct. And Chad wins.
Yeah, you gave that away. Good job,
wins.
Jesse.
I was like so caught up between Montgomery and Aaron Jones. I didn't know. I was like,
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is not a pending free agent.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I couldn't. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Is there any others? Is there any others? I couldn't think of anybody else.
Damian Harris. It was the only other one.
McKinnon. McKinnon can be a free agent. I don't know how big he's considered, but
I thought we were talking about starting running backs.
Yeah,
I don't know if McKinnon would be considered a starting running back.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know if Damian Harris is considered that anymore either.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the starters. I wasn't thinking of scrubbies.
All right, Mike. Well, you'll have a chance to redeem yourself in game 2 tonight. We are going to play a little game we call 2 truths and 1 lie. Right? So we're going to go through. I have all of those. Well, I have Sanders, Jacobs, Monty, Pollard, and Damian Harris on the list. So we're going to go through those. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you 3 statements. The first one to buzz in and tell me which one is a lie. Wait till I read all 3 statements. First one to buzz in, just say your name. And tell me which one is the lie. That's the point.
Okay.
And then we'll just play an odd number around, so we'll have a winner at the end of the night. And then we'll just discuss that player, landing spots, best landing spots, worst landing spots, whether we think they'll have success elsewhere. That kind of thing.
We're talking about free agents or
free agent running backs.
The guys we just guessed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's start out with my boy Miles Sanders. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right. I have 23 career touchdowns. I have been an RB2 in 3 of my 4 seasons. And I have been an RB2 in 3 of my 4 years and an RB1 in 2 of my years.
Mike,
that
third statement is false.
Yes, that third statement is false.
Yeah. He hasn't had that many RB1 seasons, right?
He only has one. He has one RB1.
He has one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't this year.
Yep.
No.
Oh. Yeah. He was very hot and cold.
Yeah. Right on. All right, cool. So, I mean, you guys know I was real down on Miles Sanders in the last offseason. And I mean, he didn't score a touchdown last year. He really looked like just didn't know where he was going. He didn't have a plan. He didn't know how to set up defenders, and just really overall lack of vision, and just didn't look like a football player. But then a lot changed this year, and he looks like a different player. What do you guys make of that? Is it a system thing?
I think he's
elsewhere.
So he's a good injury prone player who is in an offense that just chose not to feature him. And that was the thing, because I mean, Miles Sanders was a guy that even when he was being like uber efficient, you would watch some Eagles games and you would be frustrated by the lack of touches he was getting.
Well, I still am.
Yeah.
As an Eagles fan, I feel we should run the shit out of him, and we don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
We should have, like, early in the year, we had games where, Sanders, Boston Scott, and Gainwell scored.
Yeah.
There was that one where all 3 of them and Hurts scored on the ground. But, we set a rushing record at some point this season. Like, I understand that teams should come out aggressive and pass and get a lead and then run. But I just don't feel like we flip that switch soon enough sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
So do you guys, Mike, let me ask you, do you think he needs to go back to Philly to be successful next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, with the RB class that we're looking at in the rookie draft and with the current RB landscape, I don't see a lot of places, frankly, for a lot of these free agent RBs to go other than going back to their old teams on cheaper deals. So just kind of the way the RB market works, I think, in my opinion. I mean, we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, generally, yeah,
I think he needs a move.
What's that?
I think he needs a move personally.
Do you?
Yeah, because I don't see the Eagles as a team that's going to pay him a lot of money.
No.
Because his usage isn't there. And if they're not paying him a lot of money, or even like a decent amount of money, then, really what's going to stop them from, adding somebody else or picking somebody else up in the draft in the 4th round or 3rd round?
I think he needs one. I just don't think he'll get it, is what I think. But
it's a team philosophy that they don't spend a lot of money at that position.
Yeah.
And they don't
he's
spend a lot
he's
of
one of the running backs. He's one of the running backs that I actually would want to find a new spot. I don't know where that would be, but I mean, yeah, I think he needs to find a new spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, like Mike said, there aren't a lot of great spots out there. I feel like wherever he goes, he's going to have company.
What about the Chiefs? I know the Chiefs isn't considered a really great running back landing spot right now, but he could work well in that offense. And
I don't know if his skill set really fits them that well. I guess.
I just don't think he'd be the feature back. Yeah. So
I don't know.
He just doesn't have good hands. I think McKinnon's probably going to come back if
he's
get
not
some
great
elite guy.
Game, to be honest.
Exactly.
He's got decent hands, not great. He'll drop a few easy ones, and it's not like he's getting open against the linebacker even.
Yeah.
He's not. He doesn't create mismatches. I'll put it that way.
Pacheco's not terrible, so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I just think back to when the Chiefs had a more talented runner of the football, passing game aside, but just a more talented running back, with what they had with Kareem Hunt.
Oh, Kareem.
No, Hunt. Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
And how dynamic that offense was when they had a dynamic player running the ball, and I really do think Miles Sanders can be a dynamic player when he's healthy.
True.
So
that's true. I mean, I do think Andy Reid would know how to use him on the ground for sure. I mean, there will be stretches where he disappears.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, like Miami, I think is a great landing spot for a running back. but I don't think for Miles Sanders. I just
No.
don't think he's a great fit for that offense, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. All right, cool.
That would be a spot for Pollard for me. But yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, I have Pollard a little later. All right, you guys want to move on to Jacobs?
Yeah, let's
Sure.
do it.
All right. I've had at least 1,200 yards from scrimmage in all 4 seasons. I've had at least 1,000 rushing yards in each of my 4 seasons. I've never had a receiving touchdown.
Mike, the second one.
That's correct. I've had at least 1,000 rushing yards in in 4 of my seasons. Actually 3. Believe it or not.
Yep.
So, even though he did have 1,200 total yards
This
in
year.
all 4 of his seasons.
Oh.
Obviously, this year he was the RB2 or 3. Is that crazy? He's never had a receiving touchdown in 4 years?
That is really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he generally only catches around 30 passes a year, which is a travesty. I think he's much better at that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jacobs, what's going to happen with him? I mean, obviously he broke the fuck out. He's always had this ability, in my opinion.
Best case is to go back to Oakland. Gosh, L.A. Gosh, Las Vegas, wherever the frick they. I don't care about that team.
Third
Wherever
time's a
they
charm.
play. Yeah, right.
You sound like my grandmother running through all of her grandchildren's names before she.
Hey, I do that with my own kids right now. Okay, but I think it's the best place to go. Obviously, there's just questions at the quarterback position, right? So rumors of Brady and whatnot, but until we found out, I'm not really crazy about it, and I'm certainly not paying market price dynasty wise for Jacobs right now. So I will be happy to wait and see what happens. But it's kind of my thoughts. I don't think he should go anywhere else than Las Vegas.
What's the market price for Jacobs? 2 firsts?
Oh gosh, there's no way. I don't even think I pay a first and a second. But
I offered a 20.
I think it was probably. I mean, I think you'd probably get 2 firsts before the picks were decided, and the season was still going on.
Right.
Right. But yeah, now I think it's probably going to be around a first and a second.
106, 105. Would you rather have Jahmyr Gibbs or Jacobs? I'd rather have Jacobs.
Give me the rookie. Yeah.
I'd rather have Tucker.
Jacobs.
I'd rather have Tucker than both of them.
Tucker. Okay. I've Gibbs slightly above Tucker, but I love Tucker, man. I watched the film on these guys since the last time we talked. I have a lot of notes from when we do our rookie stuff. But I love Tucker. That dude's electric. So I won't argue with you there. But I'd rather have Jacobs. He's proven that he's an RB1.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with the contract and what happens with the team with Carr leaving too. I mean, everything's just up in the air with that franchise right now, and Jacobs, his future as a whole. So
it could be a real.
There's a lot to be seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, is Tom Brady going there? Is that what we're looking at?
Does anybody want Tom Brady after that game? I know it's just one game, but I mean, he hasn't really been super impressive this season. And I mean, I guess you can name a number of factors on why that might be the case. If I'm a franchise, I'm not looking at Tom Brady and saying I got to have him on my team, especially because knowing that puts me back another year as far as finding another quarterback, because you're probably going to have a mid-round pick if you have Brady the following season. And what's the future in having Tom Brady at this point if you're not winning a Super Bowl? And what Super Bowl contender is taking on Tom Brady? I don't know. I just don't think it makes any sense.
I mean, maybe the Dolphins could. They talked about the Jets.
But why would the Dolphins give up on Tua for Tom Brady, for having a year of Tom Brady?
Didn't the Dolphins lose a draft pick because of tampering to try to get Brady?
Yeah, and their owner is insane. It's all because
he's
their
off
owner
the chain.
is insane. It's the only reason it could happen.
I mean, he's still there, so
maybe for take I don't know, even sales. I wouldn't understand that move at all. I don't understand any team going in for Brady though, to be honest. So
even the Jets.
But why would the Jets do that? Go find a quarterback. Why bring in a quarterback that is not that great anymore. And, I mean, it's just a little stopover gap. It's like bringing in, like, it's a little bit better than bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, I could see the Raiders doing that.
It's just like I'm not going to say Brady's what he was a couple of years ago, though, but that's what everybody thought when he left New England too, and then he went and won the Super Bowl in Tampa. Like the New England offense was crap. Like he was really crappy in his last year in New England.
That is
yeah,
true.
but are you paying Brady? Are you paying Brady to gamble for that? I mean, Tampa Bay was an elite team. Like there are no elite teams that are looking for a quarterback. At this moment in time that I can.
I'm sure the Jets media and fan base will tell them they are. They're
no,
Zach Wilson away.
No, the Jets are maybe a good quarterback away from barely making the playoffs, and that's even like up in the air. But yeah, I mean,
I think you're underselling their defense. But if you get Tom Brady,
but their defense struggled the last half of the season.
Okay, they're young. If you get Tom Brady and they are.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying is you have a young group of players.
I'm not arguing that Tom Brady should go to the Jets. I want to talk about the Raiders. If you get Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels in a conversation with each other, they will decide that the two of them can take over the world together. Absolutely.
So nasty.
The ego between the two of them.
I have heard the Titans too.
In the real world, if it's realistic in their delusional minds, it'll happen.
Is Tom Brady right now? Is Tom Brady any better than Derek Carr?
No.
No, I mean, he might be
Derek
cheaper.
Carr can't play there. They benched him and told him you're not our quarterback. He's not going to play for them again.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're going to bring in Tom Brady and have the same exact results you have.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm saying it's the Josh McDaniels thing to do.
But what if he goes and plays with his old teammate Mike Vrabel?
That's a weird idea and interesting though. I mean, they've got a good defense, and
I mean, they just made the playoffs with Hopscotch. What's his name?
Dobbs.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs.
Right?
Hopscotch is what you called him. Hopscotch.
Dobbs.
The whole thing is nasty. Go let Tom Brady find a broadcast booth somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. The guy should have retired last year and spent time with his family.
Honestly, he should just try to get his family back, in my personal opinion. But in a football opinion,
yeah, I mean,
the Raiders or Titans or Jets.
I won't really get into that, but I mean, like, as far as like, if I was a fan of a franchise that signed Tom Brady, I would be absolutely furious. Like, that's so bad. That's so bad to me. Like, there's no winning in that situation. Like, other than maybe selling tickets. That's all that would be.
I mean, you're blanket statementing that he's done. He might not be.
It's not about him being done. I'm not saying that he wouldn't be like a middle tier quarterback. I'm saying what franchise is set up to where they're a middle tier quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl? None.
The Niners, but I mean that's not gonna.
No, but the Niners are here with Brock Purdy, so and they have Trey Lance. So why are they bringing in Tom Brady?
Yeah, Brock Purdy doesn't scare me. Yeah, I know they're not bringing in Tom Brady. I hear you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. If there was another Tampa Bay waiting in the wings, where you have everything set up, but you just don't have the quarterback, and there's nobody else on the market with a future,
like the Broncos last year,
or like the Broncos with Peyton, right? When they brought in Peyton.
Yeah. Trade Russ for him, Mike.
He's a free agent. I ain't trading shit.
All right, to just get both of them. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I don't want to really talk about Tom Brady anyway. I want to talk about Josh Jacobs. So to me, he's pretty much landing spot proof, right? In free agency, is there anywhere he could go outside of? Well, I mean, even if he went to the Texans, I still could see him being damn good.
Hear me out here. What if he went to the Eagles?
Oh, I would love that. He'd be a great fit for our offense too. I would love it. I mean,
that would be a really. I mean, that would probably put him into the upper echelon of dynasty player, like just from perspective, or just from people's perspective on how they're seeing the player going into the season.
Yeah, or the Chiefs. I mean, if you want to talk about Miles Sanders going there,
I'm done with I'm done hyping up running backs in that offense until I see it.
You
again.
just did with Miles Sanders.
Yeah, but that's that. I'm not saying that would rise him to like the level of, a player finishing in as an RB1 coming in, or as the RB1 coming into.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, or not the RB. Was he the RB1 this year? He was, right?
No, I think he was 2 or 3.
No, Eckler was. Yeah.
Eckler.
Okay.
Which chaps my ass? I've never had a share of him. I've just never been able to.
I was so heavy on all of him this year.
And he just destroyed me in every finals I played. And, awesome. So, all right. So Chiefs is a shitty landing spot. He'd be really good in Miami. Philly, obviously, elite. Any others? Do you guys think? I mean, like I said, even if he went to Houston, I think he'd be fine. I don't think he'd be great in Houston, but he'd be fine.
I think Damian Harris is. I mean, Damian Harris. God, no, not Damian Harris. Damian Pierce is good enough to where I wouldn't feel you need to add in another,
right,
or at least a free agent running back.
It doesn't make sense on their side. I'm just saying, like, if we're looking at, oh, holy shit, that's a terrible landing spot kind of situation.
Yeah.
How bad can it really be?
Yeah.
What I'm saying. I still would have him as an RB1. I'd still have him at top 12. All right, cool. So I offered Jacobs, or I offered a 25 first and Pacheco for Jacobs. What do you guys take that?
Depends on 25. No, I'd rather have Jacobs.
Yeah, I'd rather have Jacobs too. If this is 24, I'd probably do it.
Right on. Memphis agrees with you because that's who I offered it to, and he turned me down.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to buy him cheap. I understand he's worth more than that, but I'm just trying to capitalize on people that are panicking on, the free agent. Players being a free agent just sort of freak people out. I think it's like the end of their career for some reason.
I think it depends. I think
I've seen it both. I've seen people overhype it, and then it freaks people out.
I think it freaks people out with Josh Jacobs just because he's coming off of this dynamic season where we haven't seen him have a season like this, and now he has the potential to leave. So that scares people because of what came before. If he was consistently, a top 5 running back, then everybody would be like, oh, he's going to go somewhere else and be a top 5 running back. But now it's like, he might go somewhere else and his role might be completely different.
I think he showed without a doubt, though, that if he's on the right team and gets enough usage, that he's an RB1.
Yeah, but I mean that's the risk, right? It's half talent, half usage, half opportunity.
Sure, that's anybody. That's any back, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Saquon's the greatest back in the world. If they don't use him, then he sucks.
Yeah, but it's different though because Saquon is a premier player in the league. If you have Saquon, he's always going to have a role, like a huge role in an offense. So as long as he's healthy, Josh Jacobs is a player where, until this season we haven't seen him be an elite running back in the NFL. So if he goes somewhere else, is he going to get that elite usage?
I blame every coach he's ever had before Josh.
But that doesn't matter though, Jesse, is what I'm saying. Like he might go somewhere else and get bad coaching again. Yep, if somebody takes on Saquon, they have the expectation of giving him ridiculous usage.
Sure, but that doesn't always happen. Even if the expectation is that. You still have ridiculous coaches like Dan Campbell that doesn't understand how to use DeAndre Swift. He's got this ridiculous talent and he leaves him on the bench. So it happens, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
even with players of Saquon's talent level. It's crazy, but it does.
I mean, I don't think Swift is Saquon, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, he's not. I agree. He's a hell of a player, but he's not. Different players. All right, so what if I offered you a 24 and 25 fifth?
Fifth?
I mean
first? Yeah, I would take the picks immediately.
You would?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
I'd probably take I'd probably take the picks. I guess it just depends on the roster.
Right on. All right,
Just
cool.
depends. It depends on the roster, and it depends on how much I trust the league.
Yeah, true.
Cool. All right. Should we move on to Monty?
Yep.
Actually, you know what? Before we do that, we didn't really talk about like what's Miles Sanders worth. Like, what would you have to add to Miles Sanders to get Josh Jacobs? Pacheco, since we're talking about him.
Probably a first. Being honest,
Really a first?
you probably have to give me a first. I'm probably lower on Miles Sanders.
Fair, but yeah.
What do you say, Mike?
I was saying I think an early second's pretty fair, but I honestly don't want any of either. So
yeah, I'd much rather have Jacobs. So yeah, you'd probably have to give me a first for me to.
What about James Cook? What if I offered you Miles Sanders and James Cook for Jacobs?
I don't know.
Both of you
It's
guys
close.
were so big on him this time last year.
I mean, I like James Cook, but I mean, it's probably team dependent.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Monty. So we've established Miles Sanders much lower. What if I'm giving you Gainwell too? Does that move the needle? And Boston Scott?
Scott doesn't mean.
Let's move on.
I pulled that shady maneuver on a couple people. All right, so David Montgomery. I've been an RB2 in standard and PPR in all 4 seasons. I've been an RB1 in standard and PPR in 2 seasons. I've had one.
Are we picking the true or false statement? Sorry.
You're picking the false statement.
The first one is a false statement.
Oh my God, dude. All right, you're out of the game because that's incorrect. And I haven't even finished reading the 3 statements.
Oh, do you have to finish?
Yes.
Rules
that's
is the
part of
rules.
the game. I've had one 1,000-yard rushing season in my 4 seasons.
I barely know the rules of the game. Like, I mean, I don't even know which statement we're picking. So, of course, I don't know any of the other rules either.
That's an excuse for losing this game.
The name of the game is 2 truths and 1 lie. So you're not.
I don't know the name of it either. So.
Yeah, you're not paying attention. You're a terrible student.
He's just trying to have an excuse for getting his ass kicked in this game.
So, Mike, which of the last 2 statements is false? Since we know that the first one that Chad guessed is correct. Is true.
I'm going to say the second one.
That's correct. I've been an RB1 in both in PPR and standard in 2 seasons. That's incorrect. You've only been an RB1
in
once.
Right?
So what was repeat the first one?
When he had 15 touchdowns or whatever. What's that?
Repeat the first one, the first statement.
I've been an RB2 in standard and PPR in all 4 of my seasons.
Hasn't he been an RB1?
I've been an RB1 in standard and PPR in 2 seasons. And he's only done that once.
No, I know, but the first statement is false, though, isn't it?
I've been an RB2 in standard and PPR in all 4 seasons. That's correct.
I think Chad's trying to say you should have said at least.
At least in RB2. Yeah, that's false. He hasn't been an RB2 in all 4 of his seasons.
Like an RB2 or better,
RB2 or better. Wow.
I mean, I inferred that.
Get me with the legal mumbo jumbo.
No, that's because it means something different. If you say he's been in RB2, he hasn't been in RB2 in all 4 of his.
At least in RB2. All right.
Yeah, at least in RB2.
All right.
So I was right.
You weren't right.
No, I was right.
You weren't right, but I'm not going to give Mike the point.
No, I was right.
No,
right. That statement is false. He was not in RB2 for all 4 of his seasons.
All right.
That's false.
In the spirit of the game, you were not correct.
No, Jesse messed up, so I was correct.
You're just all with the legal mumbo jumbo.
That's not legal mumbo jumbo. If you don't say at least, then never mind. We'll move on.
You said beer, I'll go with mugs. All right.
Oh gosh.
What are we giving for Monty? I mean, if I offered you Miles Sanders for Monty, for some weird reason. They seem pretty even to me.
They're pretty even. I'd probably rather have Sanders, to be honest, but
Yeah, I'd rather have Sanders.
Is there any place in the world where he'd be more valuable than Chicago?
no.
I don't know. I mean, probably about the same everywhere. I think.
But I've said that for like every.
He probably wouldn't be. Monty's funny because he probably wouldn't be worth any less than he is in Chicago, like anywhere else. But he also wouldn't be worth any more.
He'd be a good fit. He'd be a good fit in KC, but he'd be completely replacing Pacheco. But he would be a good fit.
He'd be the same. He'd be the same cost every single place he went. He's still David Montgomery.
That's true.
Miami. I mean,
it would still just be David Montgomery to me. I'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just.
You'd rather have Miles Sanders, you said?
Yeah, I'd rather have Miles Sanders.
I
just think Miles Sanders is a better player. So
Miles Sanders and Monty for Jacobs and the 205.
Hold on, say that again.
Miles Sanders and David Montgomery for Jacobs and the 205.
Jacobs and the 205 in a heartbeat.
Mike?
I was going to say if I was really hurting at running back, I'd consider Sanders and Monty, but I don't have any of these players, so I don't want nothing to do with any of them, frankly. So
I have a lot of Jacobs. I don't have either. I don't have any. I sold off all of my Miles Sanders last year.
The only Jacobs I have is the one we share in RSO, so that's it.
I have a lot. Oh, we don't share shit, Mike. Did you not catch the announcement in that league?
Oh no.
Jesse has a new team.
I have left you, Mike.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah. We're getting divorced.
Whoops. Okay.
What?
Were dues already starting to get paid or something? Did I miss something else?
No.
You took over someone else's team, or
Big OTD's left, so I'm just going to take his team.
This is a conversation for off.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is. My bad. No one cares about our leagues. I understand that. All right, so what if I offered you James Cook straight up for Monty?
I'd rather have James Cook.
I don't want to talk about Monty anymore.
Me neither. I really don't want to talk about Montgomery anymore.
James Cook, I guess. Sure.
God. All right. I mean, God.
You're talking about Saquon and Pollard now.
We're not doing Saquon. We're not Saquon. We're going to do Pollard now, though.
And we all know Saquon's going to get franchised anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So. Exactly. I didn't have him on the list, and then when you said him, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, he is." I'm gonna have to say yes. But because I don't consider him a free agent, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
That they would burn that city to the ground, which I would welcome, by the way. All right.
It would still be nicer than Philly. So.
Oh. Tony Pollard. I've had one season as an RB2 or better. I've had 40 catches in each of the last 2 seasons. I've had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage twice in my career.
Chad.
Go ahead.
The first one.
Incorrect. Mike?
The second one.
Correct.
Shit.
Mike takes a commanding 2-0 lead.
3-0. Thanks.
No, we both got that other one.
No, I got the first. I got the first 2. Miles Sanders and Jacobs, and then we split on Monty.
Yeah. Okay. 3-0. 3-0.
That is 3-0. Thank you, Mike.
So sorry, Chad. You can't win this game, but nice try.
So, Mike, you have no idea how close you were to not being right. He had 39 catches in each of the last 2 seasons.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, off the
top. I was studying those stats last night. All right, so Pollard. Now this is a fun one. Where do we want Pollard to go?
Dallas. He's going to continue to phase out Zeke. Like, it sucks because Zeke is like the goal line guy, but
so you want him back there with Zeke?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I just
You
want
don't
him to get the
go-
contract and then them cut Zeke after next season.
next year.
Yeah.
You don't want him to go to Miami and have the all-speed team.
No.
I
don't want him in
Why?
that cluster with Wilson and
Fuck
because
Wilson. Fuck it.
Dude,
Don't work
I mean, unless he
McDaniel
goes somewhere and
played
gets
with him. He traded for him.
as he's running down the field.
Coach traded for him, right? Coach traded for him,
Okay.
and then he played with Mostert. Coach
Traded
Mostert
what
too.
for?
I don't know what he traded
Okay,
San Francisco for Wilson.
I mean, I think he was just sort of grasping at what he could get until he gets a real back.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I feel like Pollard is where Edmonds was last year. At least I think they would be viewed in the same way. It's like, oh, give him a shot. Let him be the one somewhere. Edmonds crash and burn. Considering that happened to McDaniels, you really think he's going to do that again? I don't think so.
I don't think Chase Edmonds is anywhere near Tony Pollard level talent.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying it's a similar situation where someone's been the two for quite a long time, becomes they have hype of get them more involved. Then they get more involved, do well, and then become a free agent.
I mean,
that's where I'm saying it's similar. I'm not saying they're the same players.
Yeah, it's worked in the past. You know, do you remember Michael Turner?
Oh gosh, let's not go that far back. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get a big contract, and that's what I'm hesitant about. Like, if he was to go to Miami and get a deal that says I'm a starting running back, then I'd be like, okay,
8 to 10 million.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to get that anywhere else other than Dallas. I think Dallas is going to be the place that appreciates him the most. And so I want him to get a starting running back contract where he's secured in that role, which we know it's not going to be for another year in Dallas, but at least we know it'll be coming, unless they go out and draft another guy anyways. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's risk everywhere. If he was to go somewhere else and get that big contract, though, like I mean, when I say big, I mean big for a running back, then, yeah, I'd be ecstatic about that. I just don't foresee that happening, personally.
If he goes back to Dallas, I feel like you're not going to see that season again.
No, I don't think so.
I think he had a lot of, big splash plays that aren't necessarily going to always be there. Some of them are going to because he's an electric player. I understand that he made those plays, but also it has a lot to do with just, the randomness of the NFL, and just sometimes not as many of those plays happen. And that was a big part of his point and a big part of his season. So, I could see not like falling off a cliff, but I could see a big dip for sure.
But there's also a chance Zeke gets hurt, right? When you're talking about things that take chance, like Zeke's
True,
hurt
but
almost every season and wasn't hurt this year, right? So
there's also a chance Pollard gets hurt. There's also a chance I get hurt. It's football.
I just think the Cowboys is the safest option for him as far as, maintaining value and then potentially, increasing in value once Zeke is out of the picture, because I think Zeke has to be gone after next season. There's no other choice for the Cowboys. So.
Right, that contract balloons.
Yeah,
he's turned into Mark Ingram.
Yeah, so I think that's the safest option because we know the Cowboys like him. We know the Cowboys know he's a good player. We just know Zeke makes a ton of money, so they have to play Zeke.
Yeah, I personally would like to see him in Miami. Those other two middle to low middle talent backs don't scare me at all. And I think Tony Pollard would absolutely take over that backfield. And I would like to have a Jeff Wilson to spell him once in a while, because you don't need Tony Pollard getting 20 carries every game. He won't hold up to that. So you need somebody to take some of the bruising work anyway. He kind of probably works well with a good.
I mean, he's not a small back. I think he kind of gets that rap because he's next to Zeke, but he has decent size.
Which is.
I mean, I know he's like 6 foot or over 6 foot, and he's about like 210, 215.
Is he okay? Yeah. I mean, that's real NFL size. He just doesn't look like a 3-down back to me, but I guess.
I think he can be personally, but.
I hear you. Yeah. Right on. I mean, it would take a shitload to get him right now, huh?
You think so?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is a ton?
I think anybody that has him isn't giving you. I mean, you'd have to give like the 103.
Oh no, I don't know.
No.
I don't think that's
You think
true.
they would take the 104 for him?
I think you could get him for like the 106, 107.
That's what I was going to say. It was 6 or 7. Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe I'm overstating it.
And
That's about
I
right.
wouldn't even personally do that. Like I wouldn't give up the 106 or 107 for him, but I think that people would take
I
that
wouldn't
trade.
either. I wouldn't either. Well, yeah, but that is about where it falls off. Actually, this year, it seems like every year it seems to fall off after like maybe 107.
We say that every year, and it ends up never being the truth.
Right.
So,
well, right now my cutoff is Addison. So
yeah, I've stopped. Well, we'll get into that when we talk about rookies. But
yeah, I'm just dying to talk about rookies. So
I know.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I would say where I would feel comfortable buying him is probably like 109, 110 maybe. That's probably where I'm at. And I know probably people wouldn't take that. Maybe some would, but I think almost everybody would take 106.
106. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. What about player wise? Like what? Let's cross positions. What if I offered you? Elijah Moore wouldn't do it, but what about Dotson, Jahan Dotson?
Dotson for Pollard, you're saying?
Yeah.
I go Pollard.
I think that's even. I think that's a pretty even trade. I'd probably lean Pollard slightly, but I think that's about even.
Feels pretty even to me.
Yeah.
Because I think like people are going to laugh at you if you want Olave or Wilson.
Yeah, no, that's out of the question.
Yeah.
Right. What about Burks?
Yeah, probably. I think people are going to want to hold on to Burks. I think he's going to be a little bit harder to get than Dotson, but I still think that's about even.
Right on. Christian Watson.
I don't know. Where's Watson's value at right now?
It's pretty high, but I still would rather have Pollard. I actually think this is a nice sell window.
I think all three of those players are, for me, relatively equal, or all four of them.
Close.
All three of the wide receivers and Tony Pollard. I think they're all about equal in value for me personally.
I'm probably lowest on Christian Watson still out of those guys. Something about him screams.
Well, the thing I'm worried about is Rodgers leaving, because I think there's a big potential in them having to figure out something at quarterback or try out Love.
They'll definitely give Love a shot.
Yeah,
if Rodgers leaves. Which, I mean, he came in relief of Rodgers this year and immediately threw a long touchdown to Christian Watson.
Yeah, but we know how that can be, though.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, right on. All right, cool. So if I offered you in a 1.5 tight end premium, if I offered you Hawks value is probably through the roof right now. What if it was Goddard? Goddard for Pollard?
Goddard all day.
Goddard
all day.
That's not even a question. Goddard's worth more, quite a bit more than Pollard.
What about Freiermuth?
Yeah.
Schultz, I think I could see it interesting.
No way. I'd tell you to go pound sand.
Yeah, I don't think that's equal.
There's a huge drop off after those top few tight ends, and then what about Waller? What if I offered you Waller for Pollard? You were a contender. And you had.
I think that's about even. I'd probably go Pollard still.
Really?
Yeah.
You had a little running back depth, and you needed a tight end.
If I need, like I said, it's about even. So depending on what roster. So
Kittle
all day.
Oh yeah,
not even close.
That'd be close. Yeah.
Right on. Although he could disappear when Lance comes in.
If Lance comes in.
Oh, stop! Come on.
They win the Super Bowl with Purdy. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't even think
winning the Super Bowl with anyone. Are you out of your freaking mind? They're not getting past the NFC Championship game. That's insane. With that rookie, Brandon Graham is going to eat him for lunch.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next player.
Next week. Yeah.
Okay. I only have one more, which is good because we're in an hour. Do you want to do one more, or do you want to just call Mike the winner?
I mean, I already won anyways, but we do.
Yeah, he won, but we can do one more real quick.
All right, let's do Damian Harris.
Oh, never mind. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're all right. I really have no interest in talking about Damian Harris.
I honestly don't either. I've never owned him, to be fair.
Me either.
I don't have one for you guys each won a game tonight, so you each get a point and I get a host point.
You don't know there's no such thing as a host point. What are you talking about?
I'm writing it down. Host point for Jesse. Okay, good. Written down. Host point. Okay. So I don't have one worked up for Saquon, but let's talk about his value as compared to last year. I got him for Miles Sanders last year. Around this time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Right. It was like Sanders and Gainwell for and I gave up that Darnell Savage in a PPA at a
IDP.
Yeah, IDP league. Yeah. So like he was the worst shit last year at this time. At the beginning of the year, I traded away Saquon for Javonte and 2 seconds. Which some people told me I was crazy and that I got beat, and some people told me I won, and some people told me it was even. If there's kind of an if that Javonte comes back to full health, though, right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. But I know he had multiple like different ligament damage and stuff.
Have you heard anything on him?
I haven't heard anything bad, like concerning about his recovery, but I haven't heard anything like he's ahead of schedule or anything like that either.
But now, I mean, I feel like you get the full, 2 firsts and a second, or 2 firsts and 2 seconds for Saquon, right?
Yeah, I would say he's right below 3 firsts probably, which is interesting. But yeah.
Okay, I have somebody sent me a trade offer. You guys want to talk about it?
Sure.
Real quick?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's make a trade.
So somebody wants from my team, and I already have a firm stance on this in my mind, but we'll talk about it anyways. They want Lamar Jackson and T. Higgins.
Wow.
And yep, and they're trying to give me the 102, the 106, George Pickens, Pacheco, and the 312.
Go Lamar and T. Higgins.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
So what would you need? What would you need on top of it? If I'm going to send a counter here,
do they have a quarterback on their roster that they can try to like even things out with? Or what,
no.
I mean, what's your situation? Are you fully rebuilding? Or,
no, this isn't a rebuilding roster.
So you're going to try to compete? Do you have quarterbacks?
Yeah, it's probably a competing roster. My other quarterback is Kyler Murray, and then I'd have the 102, so I'd probably take quarterback at 102. And then Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers.
Gosh, I feel like you need a lot, like a 105, 104 on that too. Like I don't know. It just seems. It just seems like something I wouldn't do, especially with Kyler, and you're not going to.
Yeah, it's an easy no for me. Like I would probably need, for me personally, I'd probably need like maybe 108 on top of that, 107.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I need on top of it. It's definitely an easy no. Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what I need on top of it. I need something so that I can, like, I guess with the 102, you don't have to take Bryce Young or Stroud. You can trade it for a different quarterback that you like that you can compete with now.
Yeah.
I don't know, whoever you think.
What if I added Jahan Dotson to it?
Ooh.
So George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, 106, 102, and Pacheco.
And Pacheco and the 312.
Yeah, and the 312.
And you're only giving up
Higgins and Lamar. I mean, that's not only. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And I feel like Higgins is a little undervalued too, in my personal opinion.
I would do it because, I mean, you're getting so much. You're getting 2. Like I think, probably career high-end wide receiver 2s, which is probably what T. Higgins is when all is said and done. You're getting 2 of them. It's just T. Higgins is more proven, but I believe for those guys. enough. Pickens is a little more volatile. I mean, Dotson is too. He could not get a quarterback. Who knows? But then you're getting a quarterback. Like that 102, like I said, you could trade for a quarterback that I think would be almost like you could get Tua, which I don't think I wouldn't give up the 102 for Tua, but you could give up the 102 for Tua and another nice piece. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't believe that you can compete this year with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to say fuck it and whatever happens, but then next year. But I think the 102 is valuable enough that you can get enough for it, even if you don't want to roll. So you're getting a quarterback that could easily be just as good as Lamar. And Lamar is hitting the phase of his career that scares the living shit out of him.
Yeah, I think you're lower on Lamar than both me and Mike are.
That's true. I'm not lower on Lamar's talent at all. Lamar's an MVP caliber player.
Just on the risk and stuff. Yeah.
It's just so much risk, and it's 2 years in a row now that he's missed 5 games. And I think all the contract shit is smoke. Like, he's not going anywhere.
He's back. He's gonna. I mean, they've already talked about him helping to pick the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. He was never going anywhere.
Yeah.
This you talk about burning a city down. He's the only thing that Baltimore has.
Yeah. He's staying for sure. But yeah, that's the only reason I was actually thinking about even entertaining the deal and trying to counter is because my 2 quarterbacks are Lamar and Kyler. And
I think I'd do it for.
I don't know that I want both of them on the same roster. So
well, I mean, if you're taking Bryce Young, then you got Kyler and Kyler, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I like Bryce Young more than I
like Bryce Young more, but yeah, that's my only reservation is that I am a lot lower on CJ Stroud than
are you?
Consensus. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm very high on Stroud.
I'm higher on. I feel like I've since watching more of Levis. I think I'm higher on Levis than most people, and lower on Stroud than.
Well, yeah, because you're a Danny Dimes fan, and that's who he is.
No. I don't think so.
I got a trade question for you guys.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So I've been offered the 101. He wants the 106, 107. What do you think needs to be added to that to get the 101? Or do you think I should? This is a full rebuild, by the way, where I've over half.
I'm sorry, you said you were offered the 101?
Yeah.
And for what was the offer?
Well, it was 106, 107, and then he wanted like a 24 or 25 first as well. I felt like that was too much, but
that's fair.
I think 106 and 107 is fair.
I think so.
For the 101.
I want 3. If I trade out, I have 4 101s this year. If I trade out, I've decided I want 3 first round level.
You can want all you want. The 106 and the 107 is fair for the 101.
I say, Mike, don't take it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I rejected it. I was just curious.
It's fair, but you're not improving your team enough with those 2 players that you are with Bijan.
No, I thought he was saying he's getting the 101.
He is.
Yeah, I would have been getting.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you want the 101, don't think that you're going to be able to get it with the 106 and 107. That's silly.
No. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think you need to add a little bit more, but I think that's fair value. I mean, I think adding a first onto the 106, 107 is
too much.
Way too much. Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so I have a trade scenario that happened yesterday or the day before. I withdrew the whole thing because it freaked me out too much. So someone offered me the 112 and 212 for Olave, which is a non-starter. But I countered by adding the 104. So my offer was 104, 112, 212, and I'd be getting Olave. I mean, I'd be giving Olave. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, you're asking for way too much for Olave, in my opinion.
I'm asking too much. I pulled the offer because I didn't think it was enough.
What was it? What were you asking for?
104, 112, and 212.
That's way too much.
He looked at it and was considering it, and then I pulled it.
I would have let him. I would take the 104 and 112. I'd take the 104 and 112 for Olave.
Yeah, I'd take 2 firsts for Olave. No.
I don't know, man. It freaked me out. It freaked me out. I don't know. I don't know that the player I'm getting at the 112 is such a weird spot in every draft, and it's a kind of a weird dead zone this year too.
Everybody was
Everyone
calling
says
it a
that, but
dead
it's
zone the
not.
day that Justin Jefferson was going at 111, 112. You know,
It was like
it's a
Pickens last year.
it's a
too.
dead zone every year. Like Jahan Dotson, Pickens,
Waddle and
Waddle.
Devontae.
Yeah. I mean, it's a dead zone every year before it actually happens and we see what these players are. That's just people talking shit.
Interesting. All right. I'll resend it. You guys think if I resend that, I'm making out?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
And I like, Olave is one of my favorite players in the draft last year.
Yeah, and I'm adding what? Jameer Gibbs and all right. If
You can also trade the picks, Jesse.
If it were you, Chad, you'd be adding Sean Tucker and Cedric Tillman, right? So is that enough?
Yeah, that's enough for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so Cedric Tillman, I like Cedric Tillman in the back end of the first, early second if he gets the draft capital, but we'll see. The injury is there, so
yeah,
we'll have to see what happens.
Right on.
But I like the play. I just like the player.
He was moving around fine when I was at Rocky Top. I got pictures of him. So he looks fine. All right, guys, can we land the plane?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we did a great job for our first episode of the season. We played some games. All three of us got a point.
Yeah, good is a little strong. There's work to be done with the wording, at least.
Okay, Chad. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate your encouragement. Thanks, buddy.
I would say adequate, room for improvement.
Mike, I'm sure your cadets love you, which is probably not good. They're probably supposed to hate you, actually.
No,
he's not a drill sergeant.
It's fine. They respect me, right? Like I have one that recently commissioned that actually called me to ask about some leadership advice for stuff he was going through. So it was kind of cool to be like, oh, hey, you're actually.
So you're like mentoring people.
Thinking about me, respect my opinion, right? So
cool. I respect your opinion as well, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
All right, guys, great job. We're gonna be back next week, and I don't know. Depending on what happens, Chad and I may or may not be talking to each other. We might have to go through Mike.
Yeah. Well,
depending on what happens Saturday night. But thank you all for listening to us. Stay tuned for a TikTok announcement. We're going to TikTok. Promise it will happen this year. But we will be back next week with some fun new games. Thanks for joining us, and we are out.